Give me that. You know where that comes from on that song?
No, where's that from?
Bro, it's so crazy that Kendrick used that, bro, because and I brought it up. It's basically this dude on TikTok. His whole thing is it'd be something that looks like kind of sexual. And he'd be like sweating. And it'd be like, sir, sir. And he'd be like, give me that. And so he put that in the song. It's from that TikTok.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Literally 5 minutes before we got on, I was, you know how something gets stuck in your mind, and it was that. I actually want to talk about that album on the show. By the way, tell me what we
we live right now.
All right, perfect.
Wagwan, everybody.
What up? Hold on, let me do this properly. Get everybody in here. All right, dog. So when I tell you, so every day I've been waking up about between 4:30 and 5:30 a.m. And my workout has been running up and down 5 flights of concrete stairs.
Jeez, my boy on that Rocky. You on the Rocky diet, cuz?
Well, when I was home, I got into my whole thing. So I was eating properly, weighing out my food, doing all that. So here it's a little different with the portions. It's still pretty much healthy food all the way around on this island because they eat healthy. But the portions are a little bigger. So every day I've been waking up just making sure I try to burn at least 800 to 1,000 calories before I even go to breakfast. So anyway, within the last 3 or 4 days, probably since the last show, you put me onto the Baby Keem album. That's been my shit for working
Rover
out.
Gang.
That's a Range Rover. Yo, the ad-libs on that song are the best.
He's not the Wayans. I was like, what? I was like, what is going on?
My man said, he's Baby Keem.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, I don't know what's going on, but I like it. I'll give Kendrick credit. This is the first time I've heard somebody be offbeat, and I like it. At first, when I first heard it, I was like, oh, this album's going to be weird. Because before I heard the Baby Keem album, I kept seeing people say top of the morning, and I heard that part, and I'm like, bro, this is going to be so weird. I'm like, it's offbeat. I'm like, and I thought I was tripping, like, dog, nobody else hears that this is offbeat, and now I love it. And it's the first time somebody's been like purposely offbeat, and I'm like, I enjoyed it.
That song, by the way, if you don't know what song we're talking about what's it called? Range Brothers. Range Brothers, Baby Keem and Kendrick Lamar. But yo, that top of the morning part is like it's so offbeat. You know what's satisfying about it for me? When you see you see abstract paint where it looks like somebody just threw paint on the thing, that's cool for me. But when you see like a painting that's really a painting, but it looks like a painting that a third grader would do, but it's called abstract. That's kind of how I feel about most offbeat stuff. But this joint, like, it's so offbeat on purpose. It's kind of like the painting where you just throw paint on the joint, where it's very artistic. It's super offbeat. And then when they get to the part where Kendrick is doing the ad-libs are the best, bro.
Oh yeah, he going crazy.
That is a fact.
In my head, I want to think like he just had some really fire Earl Grey, and then he was just inspired. He's like, you know what? Top of the morning, yo. You know what I mean?
My man said she's hot.
Yeah, that album's great. And did you know Baby Keem produced pretty much every song on there?
You told me that. You put me onto that, bro. When I tell you, by the way, if there's an album that I should work out to, I got a while to keep working out the albums here. And just in general, I'm gonna be working out every morning. So if you got albums or just strictly albums that I should work out to, DM me those. But for the last 3, maybe 4 days, that album is it. And I guarantee you, tomorrow, the album is it. I'm not gonna lie. So it takes me 2 days to go through the entire album because I do 30 minutes up and down, 5 flights of stairs. And so I get through half of the album, then I start the next day, do the other half of the album, then I just keep starting over. So I've been through the album twice so far.
To me, for a new artist to drop when Kanye and Drake drop and actually stand within that, you got to applaud that. And I think it works because he had all the stuff that those albums didn't.
Yes.
It's like everything that I was missing from both of those albums is what Baby Keem's album is. Baby Keem's album's got that what's the word I'm looking for? Like angst, like that. Like you know how Eminem makes you feel like it's kind of angry a little bit. It's like energetic and it's kind of angry. Like Baby Keem has that vibe to it, and it's like the patterns are weird. I like that. Like it's like after a while you get tired of hearing the same beat over and over. And when somebody's doing like weird drum patterns and the song is like jamming, like you can hear it in the club, but the drum pattern's weird. I love that. That's when I'm like, okay, I'm inspired to do something now.
Bruh, it is so energetic. That album is so energetic. It's that like super young energy.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're working out, like running up and down some stairs at 5 a.m, that is
you need that.
Bro, that is the perfect album. Yo, by the way, speaking of waking up at 4:35 in the morning, that may sound crazy for me being in a place like this and waking up at 4:30, 5:30 in the morning and walking, running up and down the steps. This whole island wakes up at between 4:30 and 5 o'clock.
That's
you will hear people having loud conversations in the streets at 5 a.m., bro.
Just chilling, like it's normal.
So let me talk to you real quick. Shout out to everybody that's joining. Let me talk to you real quick about roosters. Slim.
Like as in actual chickens?
Actual chickens.
Oh, I grew up on a farm, so I know a lot about.
Anybody from your part of Virginia would know. Let me tell you, this island has no shortage of roosters and or just regular chickens, okay? So every day, starting at about 4:15, 4:30, roosters everywhere, bro. It's like if your alarm clock went off and it triggered other alarm clocks near you and that triggered other alarm clocks near them. That's how the roosters run. Because I guess it's according to the sunrise. Fam, starting about 4:15, 4:30 at it, for real, and 5 at its peak. Jeez. Rooster Central, bro. It's like living with somebody. You got to be to work and you got to wake up at 5, but that person gets to sleep and they have night terrors.
They just keep hitting the snooze button. The alarm just keep going off. You're like, bro, turn it off.
Screaming. Just sheer screaming.
I thought you were going to say they start chasing you because they do that.
Yeah. They'll start chasing you. I had to take a COVID test. By the way, I took 1 million COVID tests. By the way, my last COVID test that I took was about 20 minutes ago.
Oh, sad. And
I'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, the roosters out here, I took a COVID test last week, Thursday, and a rooster was trying to chase me while I was in line. I was like, Slim, it's either, you on my foot or about to be good friends if you don't back up. But he was cool. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But,
if you got white socks on, bro, I'm going to used to be chasing, bro.
Bam. Sheer screaming, bro. It's like I said, it's like living with somebody with night terrors. Just all screaming. So me waking up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning.
It's pretty normal.
It's security guards like around this complex. So like as I'm running up and down the stairs, they're like, hey, hey, what's up? They're having loud conversations already. So it's pretty nuts.
Hold on. Let me read some of the chat and then I'm gonna tell people about how wild my Oracle working story. So we got the Lab 712 in here. We got my bro Contendo. What up, bro?
Yes,
we got DJ Dwight. What up, bro? Back again. We'll see Tunes by Juke. What up? Tony, what up? So we got some people. Wiseman, what up, bro? So man, let me tell you, me and Oracle working on 2 projects right now. For real. Like we coming soon type stuff, right? So we've been talking a whole lot, you know what I mean? I've been trying to, I know he out on vacation. I've been trying to play coordinator, you know what I mean? Dog, so we having this conversation and like, do we talking business? He texted me and then he sends me a video. Dog, he's in the middle of the ocean this whole time doing business. I'm like, bro, go chill, bro. Like go either relax or my dog just sitting in the middle of the ocean, dog, doing whole work. I'm like, bro, what is going on, dog? That's dedication. Yes.
I'm definitely texting Trezor about projects we're working on, and I just happened to send him a video, and I'm in the middle of the Caribbean Sea, like literally in the middle of the sea, swimming. It's not like I'm chilling on a beach or on a beach chair. I'm in the sea,
bro.
Texting my dog through a waterproof pouch.
I was like, yeah, that's work right there. That's goals right there. I was like, I gotta step my shit up now. My dog out here in the middle of the ocean.
Man, look,
with with no fun noodle. You know what I'm talking about? It'd be one thing if you had the little noodle, you know what I mean? You just my dog is just out there.
No noodles. Just getting it on. Treading with the one hand texting, treading with the other hand texting. Listen, fam.
My dog living, bro.
I had to check on the map where I was. and I was not in the ocean. They said I was in the sea. There's a difference between the ocean and the sea. Because I had to check my Fitbit. I was like, Fitbit, you work in the shower? It was like, yeah. I was like, you work when I wash my hands? Like, yeah. I was like, do you work in the sea? And they were like, yeah. So I Fitbit works in the sea. So everybody gets Fitbit.
I didn't even know the difference, huh?
Yeah.
Facts though. But real quick, let me tell you about COVID tests. Anybody out there that had to take a COVID test and it didn't hurt, shout out to you. You didn't take the real test. I'm not saying it's not real, but in order to travel internationally, you have to get something that's called a, I think it's a pharyngeal.
Ooh, that sounds painful. That sounds painful.
Bruh, so if you ever taken a COVID test and you went to like CVS, which I've done, you swab the joint around your nose, you give it to them, it'd be like negative pop. To go international, you gotta do the joint where they go into the back of your throat via your nose. Bam.
Terrible.
That's called a pharyngeal. Bruh, I'm like, yo, any further, you will be stealing my thoughts. That shit is in your brain, bro. Like, it goes up into your brain. Some people got a decent touch. Some people just don't give a damn. But I'm gonna tell you, either way, it's not comfortable, and you'll make the weirdest faces you ever made in your life.
Now, I'm uncomfortable of you explaining it. I'm uncomfortable.
It's not fun. But I had my last one. Like I said, like 20 minutes ago, and she was cool, but at the same time, she stole some of my childhood thoughts. Like, I forgot everything I knew when I was 8. I forgot all that shit.
What if she's like, so your test results are back, and then she just starts saying like Ableton.
She's like, oh,
G flat minor. You like, what? What is going on?
At one summer camp, you got stung by 7 bees at one time. Wow. I'm like,
did you know the sample from?
Like, no,
give it back.
She stole my 9th grade locker combination.
Right.
She did. Facts.
Yeah, bro. That sounds terrible. But it's also lit that you know, it's cool, man. Now I'm inspired. I seen one of my friends is in Italy, and then where you at? You know what I mean? And I'm inspired, bro. I'm definitely ready to turn up.
Nice. There's a lot of people from Italy here too.
Yeah, man.
It's mostly people from Europe here. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, it's mostly like UK, London, Europe, Great Britain, those types of places.
Ah, dope.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Verzuz while you were over there?
No, I did not.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch it either, bro. I tried to. I came in and it would just look a hot mess, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna leave now. I'm not feeling this one.
You want to just go through this real quick? Because
yeah,
I think we both got the same type of opinion.
Ashanti Carey. No, let me stop. No, I wish it was Ja and 50 Cent, but that's never gonna happen. I understand why that's not gonna happen. I feel like that would be like the Jeezy. Well, I don't know. I won't say never, because the Jeezy and Gucci happened, and I never in a million years thought that was gonna happen. Never. So that would have been better, but I don't know, man. It just didn't have the same. I don't know what it was. It was just a lot.
Je ne sais quoi.
But Ja had hits though. We can't never deny. Ja had hits, bro. It just, I don't know why his hits don't age well. I don't know what it is about it, but his just aged terribly.
It's the snare. It's the snare. Yo, listen, you know that's the most important drum to me. The snare will age the shit out of your track. It will make or break your track. It was the snare on most of it. But I mean, overall, it was just the tone and a lot of things. But the snare was the most important thing that aged a lot of stuff around that time. But Ja had hits. Fat Joe had hits. However, I'll say this. Nobody was amped to see Ja if it wasn't against 50 Cent, because that was his arch nemesis.
Right.
You understand? You don't want to see Batman fight the Riddler. You want to see Batman fight the Penguin or whatever it is. And with Fat Joe, I'm a Fat Joe fan. I love Fat Joe, but the Fat Joe I love is from when he came in the game in like 97 with Flo Joe. I believe that was 97. But Fat Joe with the DITC, that's what I'm a Fat Joe fan of. Fat Joe had hits, late 90s, early 2000s. They were super hits. But I don't think people really reach out for those a lot. So just this particular matchup, and coming off the Locks Dipset matchup,
Yeah. The energy was it was different.
It lacked a little draw. I'm not mad at it, and I'm not saying it shouldn't have happened, and I'm sure people enjoyed it, but I didn't run to it because of where I was, because of so many different factors. But shout out to Ja Rule, shout out to Fat Joe. I mean, both of them deserve that. They're both great. They're both GOATs, all that shit. But it just didn't have the draw for me. However, as you pointed out earlier, the real winner, Ashanti and Nelly, second runner up.
He got his hug. Yes.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And really, the reason why I brought it up is I don't know if you noticed. So JD and Puff start throwing little shots back and forth, and basically, JD, I believe JD said it first of saying like, let's go, you know what I mean? Let's go, Puff. And then Puff is basically like, bro, I'm not, you're not even in the same league. Respectfully, I'm only going against Dre. How do you feel about that, bro? Do you feel like, you know what I mean?
Bro, the side to side shake should tell you how I feel about that. Listen, I honestly feel like Puff and JD is a better matchup than Puff and Dre. I'll be 100% with you.
I agree. I agree.
However, I think there may be a better matchup for Puff. If we're going strictly off the 20, no. It's either between JD or somebody like let me just pick somebody random. Trackmasters. Like a real hits type of thing.
JD's weird because he's a songwriter too. So it's like, are we counting, like, how are we counting it in like most, I don't know if people realize JD did some of the songs he's done. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a weird thing to where Puff is all over the record. So I feel like it seems like it puts them in a different category, I would say. You know what I'm saying?
I think you got to count his songwriting because if you're going to count, okay. Now, here's the gray area, and everybody here is a producer for the most part. You know what I mean? But if you're going to count Puff for the I didn't really make the beat stuff, you should count JD for the songwriting. Now, I know, in case this makes it as a clip, which I hope it doesn't, don't go with I don't like the trendy clips. Don't do the whole, well, Puffy is a real traditional producer like Quincy Jones. Like, we understand that. Everyone here is grown as a producer. We
get what it is.
But what I'm saying is if you count him as a producer, you can count JD's songwriter joints as a song. Yeah. Simple as that. And on second thought, I think it would be actually a good matchup.
I think it's a better matchup because, again, it might not matter as many like to other people as much as it does to me, but like moods matter. And Dr. Dre has more serious music. Everything Dr. Dre makes music that you want to do drive-bys to. He makes very just like, I feel like I'm in LA and I'm about to get some tender greens and ride in a vehicle with no top on it. That's what Dr. Dre makes the music to. JD 100%. And Puff have more dance, you know what I mean? And I feel like entertainment-wise, that would be better. Because one, Puff is a very outspoken dude. JD's kind of outspoken dude. Dr. Dre is very like reserved, calm. He don't really talk that much. You know what I'm saying? I think entertainment-wise, that would be a better matchup.
Okay. Also, if it was Puff and Dre, name me songs that Dr. Dre would play. And this is for the chat too. Name me songs that Dr. Dre would play outside of The Chronic and The Chronic 2001.
Hateration, holleration, and the dancery.
You got that. And I'll wait. You could throw some Eminem songs in there.
Probably. Oh man.
See what I'm saying? He's a GOAT. The Dr. Dre I love because I bought the first Eazy-E album. I bought the first NWA album and all the NWA albums after that, and Ice Cube stuff before he started beefing with them. That's the Dr. Dre I love. That's not the Dr. Dre that would be played at the Verzuz. Because if you're going against Puff, you're going to play the mainstream hits. So I'm saying outside of Chronic and Chronic 2001, and now we say Hateration, Holleration. Oh, yeah. By the way, whatever the name of that song is, no one knows.
What is the name of that song?
Somebody please Google that. Let us know.
What is the name of that song? Wiseman? What is it?
He's a DJ. He knows.
Wiseman says Eve. Let Me Blow Your Mind is a good one. That's a good one. I'm not mad at that.
That's a very good one.
That's a good one. Scott Storch also.
Yes.
He'll have to play Truth Hurts and Nocturnal.
Okay, listen. Truth Hurts. One hit. I'm not saying one hit wonder in terms of like putting her down, but that was a very big song. But that's a one hit wonder. So when you start going there immediately, and I love Dre, but the Dre I love is not the mainstream Dre.
Puff is tough, man, because I'm telling you, the vibe that you feel, just like how we were saying with Drake, like Drake is always going to beat people because it's the vibe. It's like, you know, he's catering to women. It's always a certain vibe that, you know, comes with it, right?
Universal.
Puff is the vibe, like, master. That is his lane. It's like, I'm gonna make the vibe. I'm gonna, you know, make everybody two-step. Everybody's gonna dance. That's tough to beat, bro.
He got something for everybody. If you think about it, he got big for the streets. He got the locks for the streets. For the women, he got total, son. He got 112. He got faith. Like, it's so vast. And even all of those individual people had songs for the streets, for the masses. Like, Puff is almost unbeatable. The best matchup for that would be Jermaine Dupri. But even then, I'm not even sure.
Yeah,
I'm not sure, bro.
Nissan says No Diggity. That's a good one. I ain't gonna lie. That's gonna go crazy.
That's a good one. Yep.
Family Affair, Mary J. Blige.
That would Family Affair.
Okay.
They should call that shit Family Cookout.
Cornbread. Whitening fish.
Hey, dog, why is the fish always a secret at a black cookout?
Oh, yeah.
There's some fish, but you got to be like in an underground railroad of network people at the cookout to know about the fish because it's in the house. Like, yo, there's a couple pieces of fish in the house. You got to go get that before it's gone. The fish is always a secret. Everything else is right. But anyway, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who's a good opponent for Dre. When you, it's hard for those, like, everybody's so big. It's like it's just like, how do you match those people up? Like, that's like trying to match Jay-Z up with somebody. Like, who do you match him up with other than Nas, which is like what everybody was gonna do because they had beef. Like, who would you? It's like it's difficult, bro. They're so like giants in their like careers. It's like it's a difficult matchup.
I'm not lying, not for nothing, as my New York brothers would say. For a showdown, Puff versus Trackmasters would be a good show in terms of songs. Because don't sleep on Trackmasters. They
got something.
Like, it's in terms of like the masses. Because when it comes to Dre, I don't feel like there was a bunch of I hit the masses music. Trackmasters, bro. Trying to tell you. Yeah.
I feel like Dr. Dre is kind of like how we look at Kendrick. Like, we all respect Kendrick's talent. We all know he's a excellent rapper in the top, but it's a vibe that he carries. You know what I'm saying? So if you in that vibe, that's what you into, right? But if you don't like that vibe or that's not the mood you're in, you're gonna listen to the turn up stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it's not to take away anything. It's just certain moods. You know what I mean?
Bro, I'm trying to tell you, bro. You know, by the way, shout out to DJ Dwayne. Said Busy put me up on SoundOracle and Kendrick. SoundOracle and Kendrick.
Top of the morning. That's how I be waking my daughter up in the morning. Like, let's get it. Top of the morning.
She be looking at you like,
Let's get it.
We're not the Waynes.
Who would go against E40? Oh, that's a tough one.
Too Short.
Oh yeah, they did do that.
That's an easy one. That's an easy one. That's an easy one for me. Too Short, for sure.
Didn't they do that already?
I don't think so, bro.
No, I think they did. I'm pretty sure.
Damn, where was I? No, I don't think they did that. Yeah, somebody please let us know.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was Too Short definitely did one, and E40 was definitely there. Really? I'm pretty sure they've already done one.
What?
Top of the morning. Hold on. I'm about to just Google it real quick. Let's see. Too Short versus E40. Yeah, E40 versus popped up.
Damn. I missed that.
Yeah. We've been out the loop, cuz we ain't here. I would love to see Dre versus Swiss and Diddy versus Pharrell. I don't like the Dre Swiss. I don't like that one.
Nah, Dre and Swiss is whack, but Puff versus Neptunes. It would have to be Neptunes.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
I'm not mad at that. I feel like people gonna be sweating at the end of that one. You gonna dance at that one.
That's actually a really good one. I'm surprised we didn't think of that.
Yeah, I like that one. I'm not mad at that one.
Yeah.
And I feel like they both have respect for each other. Like Pharrell is like very like, he's gonna be very zen, very humble. And I feel like Diddy respects Pharrell to a certain level. So I feel like it would be a cool vibe. It ain't gonna be that JD and Puff seems like I don't want to say tension, but they got a little edginess. There's a little edginess, you know what I mean?
It's gonna be like 50% Dipset versus the Lox tension.
Mm-hmm.
But no one is gonna bring like the tension to Pharrell. This is not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's gonna be very chill.
Oh, brother, that's one of your favorite joints one of my favorite joints that you ever did. I wish you could get a chance to play that again, but I'm gonna play my next song humbly. It's gonna be a lot of that. I kind of don't want to see that.
And then Chad just gonna be there. He ain't gonna say nothing. He's just gonna be there, looking cool.
Chad is actually behind the camera. He's the cameraman because he wanted to make sure he was not on camera.
Chad don't care, bro. I love it, bro. Every time I see Chad, I be like, yo, I love it. He don't care at all, bro. He like, yo, if I'm not making music, I'm vibing, dog. Leave me alone.
Hello? I want to be Chad.
Dog, that's goals. I ain't gonna fret.
Chad is goals.
He got a great career. He got a family. He said the crib, or whatever he's doing, make music, and he's one of the best at it.
I want to be Chad so bad. I never said I want to be another person, especially on like public social media. I want to be Chad from the Neptunes so bad. It's not even funny, bro.
No, that's real. That's real.
But you need a Pharrell to be Chad.
Oh yeah, they balance each other out.
You needed him when you all started to be like the face, and you need that Pharrell to keep the legacy going as you continue to not be the face.
Yeah, that's real.
That's the thing. So Chad, for what he is, I don't think Chad could be what he is without Pharrell, but man, I want to be Chad so bad.
Yeah, it's a Neptunes documentary. I watch it all the time, bro. I done seen the same documentary a million times. And it starts off and basically it's Chad talking about how they work and their process. And basically Pharrell's like the idea guy. Like Pharrell be on the piano singing these songs, and Pharrell make a whole song, but it'll be like a rough demo. And Chad is the guy that just either he adds stuff and like embellishes, or he just removes stuff. And that's what he'll talk about. He's like the guy that's like, he said, I'm like the scientist. I'm like making the snares pop. I'm removing stuff. I'm simplifying, like how I think of kind of Mike Dean. To me, they're very similar in the way they talk about their process.
The real like intricate technical
exactly
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Man,
you need that, man.
Yes. I want to be Chad so bad in my life. I'm not even gonna lie. Chad, I figured it out right here on UnQuantized podcast. Chad is my goal.
That's facts. That brings me to a question. Okay. So when you're co-producing, do you feel like did you like change a role? Like how do you, because like I feel like when me or you were working, it's like I feel like most of the time I start and then you're like more the closer. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But then it'd be that's not necessarily true either, because then a lot of times you'll bring the sample.
Well, I bring the sample, and then you'll do the drums most of the time, which is a relief for me. You'll do the drums, and then based off of that, I might change. There's been times where I brought the sample, you've done the drums, and then I totally changed the sample.
And which is weird because normally I'm the melody guy for most people. Most of the time I'm for most people I make the melodies first, and then they do the drums.
Well, so if there's anything I have, it's more like the samples and the weird ideas. Yeah.
Because I'm thinking like the Chad role. Because sometimes I feel like I'm more of the Chad type person, depending on who I'm working with, and sometimes I feel like I'm more of the Pharrell type person of like I'm just gonna make this random idea, and then I want somebody to like tweak it and finish it. You know what I mean?
Well, when we collab, you're one of the few people. It's only like a handful of people that I can play like something like a sample or a melody, and you'll just come up with like something that I wouldn't think of ever with the drums. Like you'll just go with it. It's a lot of stuff like I'll play and people like I don't get it. or like I don't understand it. But you're like, no, I get it. Not only do you get it, and it's the one ain't even the same. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's what makes it fun, though.
Yeah, you'll start playing drums. I'm like, I don't even know what you're hearing off this.
But like, where you start at?
Facts. So I'll ask you that, and then based off of what you do, I may just totally sub out the sample because that's one thing. When working with me, I'm gonna change out samples and melodies like every 10 seconds until we hit something. And so that's why you and I work very well together.
And I think we both had the same process of like, when I get bored, bro, I'll make beats weird on purpose. Like I'm trying to figure them out. I'll take like the weirdest sound. Like I'm like, oh, it's a lion roaring. All right, let's take this and try to make it like commercial. And I'll just keep doing all right, let me just attempt to make this. And after a while, you start figuring out like, oh, I can make anything like palatable after a while. You just gotta know how to finesse and like cut stuff up, and you'll start learning different techniques. And I feel like the master of that, bro, is Knots. I feel like Knots, when it comes to like taking something and just flipping it so many times in different ways, it's incredible, bro. Like every time he'll sample stuff that I'll be like, everybody has that sample, and he flips it so wild. I'm like, bro, how did you think of it? How did you get to the point to do this, bro?
Bro, shout out to VA. Man, both of us from VA.
Yes, sir.
Knots is a legend. He is one of the kings of that. And it's funny that you talk about that. That is a specific type of producer that I have set aside. Like you said, Knots, he'll sample something. And sometimes, like I'll have the sample, I'll know the album or whatever. A lot of times I don't. But Knots is one of those producers where no matter what you hear, there's always an intro, first of all. Mm-hmm. No matter what you're hearing and what it sounds like, you can rest assured. Kick your feet up. It's going to be fire. When the drums come in and when it pulls together, it's going to be fire. Like, no question, bro. It's going to be super fire. So shout out to Knots and shout out to Virginia.
Yes, sir.
Also, Soundtrack is another guy like that. I don't know if you know about Soundtrack. Soundtrack is fire. He's one of those people that will sample something that like.
Why do I know that? Why do I know that name, bro? What do you do? Did you do Kick Push for Lupe?
I don't know, but I do know he's been not working with Ski, but like he's been in the sample pack challenge, and that's when I first got put on to him. I think he's based out of California, but Soundtrack is super dope. He'll sample something like that. It could be a Tony Braxton song. Like sometimes he'll just do something super wild, or like Everybody Loves the Sunshine by Roy Ayers or something crazy like that. And the way he would flip it would be like, it reminds you of kind of like how a Dilla or a Pete Rock, they used to do that a lot, where they would have a sample that like Isaac Hayes, like The Look of Love, or Isaac Hayes, just whatever. And they will flip it in a way where it's like everyone has the sample, but you flip it in a way that's just out of this. Exactly. So shout out to Soundtrack. He's definitely like the most current person that reminds me of Jay Dilla outside of Madlib. So shout out to him.
Dang. Now I want to listen to some Dilla.
Oh yeah. Oh, 100%. You better believe. In the evenings, looking out of this ocean.
Oh yeah.
I've been listening to all the classics. I've been listening to a lot of Dilla, a lot of Outkast, just like all the super classics. So yeah.
Let's see. Wiseman says B2K versus New Edition. No, BLK. Nah. No, BLK. Russia says it. And then Wiseman's like, I imagine him putting a Drake, that Soldier Boy, like Drake. That's how I imagine he's saying it. No, that's not. Don't get me wrong. You gotta think. My age, bro, B2K is the shit, dog. They had hits, bro. You know what I'm saying? I can't never hate on B2K.
Fact.
But New Edition is New Edition, bro. Like, that's different, bro. That's different. You know what I mean? That's different.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing.
Yeah, that's a different ball game. And I don't even think B2K would do that. I don't even think they would take that one. That's like you trying to box Muhammad Ali. You know what I mean? That's like the greats in that field. When it comes to R&B boy bands, New Edition is at the top Hall of Famers. B2K has slaps though.
Oh yeah.
B2K versus NSYNC. I don't know. But I don't know if NSYNC, but maybe 98 Degrees or something like that. That'd be hard.
Yeah. I've had no short of 98 Degrees and NSYNC type playlists while I was here. At certain restaurants out here. Oh man.
I still can't get over they use the same drums on every song. I'm so wild about that.
Did
and
you
they were
watch
all
that?
hits.
Dog, did you watch that on the pop?
I haven't got to that one yet.
Dog, watch the one on or like Max Martin and
I'm gonna watch it tonight.
Fire, bro. Fire. And they explain all of that.
I was trying to come up with a new I was going to hit you the other day because I was trying to come up with a name, but I was flipping Max Martin. I was trying to figure it out. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna come naturally.
I don't know. Yeah, help me. I'll help you out. It ain't gonna be Max for Live Martin, but I'll take that one. I'll take that one for myself.
Oh, that's hard.
Max for Live Martin.
Who could Danger go up against? That's a tough one.
The most obvious would be Tim, but it's not really gonna work out.
You know, my most obvious was Scott Storch.
That's a good one.
Because I feel like they come kind of in the same, you know what I mean? They're associated with Tim. They both were like the melody guys, and then they made hits on their own, but big hits with other producers. I thought that would be a good one.
That's actually pretty good. That's really good. Who will go up against Seven? You remember Seven Aurelius?
He was the wildest producer, dog. I used to love watching the videos. He'd be in there with the Spog machine.
Bangladesh? In terms of like wild producers versus wild producers.
Bangladesh, I'm telling you, Bang got hits, bro. That's a tough one, bro.
He just did a like kind of a behind the beats joint that I haven't been on social media a lot since I've been here. But no, he did this like behind the beats type joint. Super fire. Still using like an old ass MPC too.
And I will say, bro, I don't know if this is correct, right? So if I'm wrong, if somebody could give me an example, please let me know. I would say Bangladesh is probably responsible for influencing how 808s are programmed today. He's the first person I've ever heard program like that, and now it's like you hear it a lot. But the way he thought about 808s, almost like, I don't want to say like marching band drums, but it was more tonal. He was using them more melody wise, to where people would just hold it down and there'd be longer notes. He used it almost like the melody, and it was super like, it was very vibey, bro. And it's all about the bounce. Like now it's like the common thing, but before him, I don't really remember people doing that like that.
Facts. 100% facts. Hold on. Let's see. Wait. SoundOracle has reminded me of what? I gotta get it.
EPMD and LL Cool J.
Oh, 100%. That's the vibe I'm going for. EPMD. EPMD is my vibe that I'm going for. Thank you very much. Yeah. I set out before I came out here to be on the EPMD vibe.
The vibes. Young IDK, what up, bro? I was so sick, bro. I think what IDK had sent me all this fire content, bro. And I think it was the week I was sick, and I just realized it today, bro. I was sick. No. I'm like, bro, this is all this content I could have been putting out. I was hurt, bro. But no content going to waste. So I will post them on the blogs. It's going down.
As Jay said, let it find a home.
Well, see, I hear a lot of 3-6 Mafia nowadays. Juicy J is also in that I've influenced a bajillion people category.
Dog, not for nothing. Real quick, Crazy Bone was on Drink Champs. And he was telling the story about how they got signed by Eazy-E. And he was like, we were in Cleveland, and our homeboy who was a promoter gave us the number to Ruthless Records, and we used to call that every day. And the assistant got so sick of him calling there, she was like, I'll make sure Eric calls you back today. And he called back, and he said, Busy Bone, threw him the phone. He's like, yo, just rap. And Nori was like, do you remember the rap that you kicked? And he did it. And bruh, it was the precursor to the Migos shit 1,000,000%, bro.
Oh, I could believe it.
And so if you look at all the comments, it's like, oh, Migos. Some people like flavoring on the comments. And I just look at it like, not like, oh, Migos stole their flow. Like, no, but they were the bones, like the blueprint. Yeah. And I look at it kind of like, as a building block, a foundation or whatever. But it's interesting. If you can find a clip or listen to the actual whole interview, which I haven't heard, amazing. Like as because he's like, I still remember he kicked like half the verse, maybe like 8 to however many 12 bars.
Right,
bruh. That 16 triplet.
Oh yeah, flow. I believe it. Because it's like, you gotta think, man, like we grew up listening to this, so of course you're gonna pick up some of that stuff, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Just like, I'm sure like it's so many people who probably play the guitar like Nile Rodgers because he was killing it. You know what I mean? That was the vibe. So 100%. I'm sure people have that style and then they just take it and flip it. So it's natural, you know, but
that's how it works.
It's cool seeing the influence though. Like Juicy J, the fact that he's been influential since he started and it's like literally been like the guy. And the fact that he's so cool.
Never changed. He never changed.
Him, Zaytoven, it's like they could be the weird, like, I'm gonna keep all these secrets to myself kind of guys. And from what my perspective of, you know, seeing how they roll, it's like, yo, they just cool. They help people out. They work with all the new acts. And I think that's what it's about, bro. Like, I feel like once you get in music, how you get further is like you helping people out and you breaking new artists. You know, that's really what's gonna like make you a legend in the game, I feel like.
Yes, dog. And it's funny because that's the way you stay relevant. Like there's a time where you could like be considered old, and you could do stuff yourself, of course, and stay relevant. But a lot of those guys, like you said, they work with the newer people and they stay relevant in that way. But I think the key to that is you have to kind of have a style that is timeless to start with.
Yeah, that's right.
You got to have the people with a timeless style. Or a style that's kind of ahead of its time and an open mind, those are the people that win the most. And I think Drake, if you look further down the line from where we are now, Drake is going to be one of those people.
Oh, yeah.
Because he already demonstrates everything.
He's a master of that.
Yeah, I mean, he does stuff for the women, as he points out, as you point out, as everybody points out, and anything that's hot now in different spots around the globe.
He like Facebook ads, bro. It's like, oh, word, I'm getting... My statistics says Memphis is booming. Like, all right, who's the biggest there? Let me find a rapper there.
So it's funny enough, and I'm gonna talk about this. I put out an email today that said I was gonna tell people why I moved. And I put "move" in quotation marks because it's a short-term move. But I did say why I moved to a totally different country out of the blue, and I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. But to start with, you would be surprised at the people that are influential in different parts of the world. For instance, there's a restaurant I go to, me and my wife go to, we love it. We actually made a good friend there, and she is a huge fan of DC Young Fly.
Oh, wow. Bring that.
Bro, I'm in a random, when I tell you I'm in a random part of the world, I'm in a random part of the world. Understand that. And she's like, I want to go to a DC Young Fly show so bad. And I'm like, really? And I'm like, he's never come out here. So she's like, no. So my wife like gets on there, his DC Young Fly, like, come to wherever we are, blah, 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 blah. But she's like, yeah, and I love when he's with like Chico Bean and so like the people that they know.
Right.
It's amazing, bro. It's amazing. And I just feel like Drake has that influence.
Oh, yeah.
All over the world, bro.
Bro, this is maybe a couple of weeks ago. This maybe a few months ago. I was in a barbershop and DC Young Fly was in there. You don't know nervousness, dog, until you go to a barbershop and he starts roasting everybody in the barbershop and you just sat down. I just sat down and he just going off on people. I'm like, oh no, what did I walk into, bro? What's about to happen? And luckily he roasted like 3 other people. It was talking trash and then he was done. I was like, yes.
I didn't get you because you had that drip on?
I was just quiet. I was like, I don't want no, I don't feel like it. I ain't had no drip on. I had the Crocs on. I was laying low, bro. You know what I mean? I was in the cut, bro. I wasn't feeling it that day.
Yeah, but that's just wild. Like the people that other people in other parts of the world, like, yo, I love this person. Because living in Atlanta, a lot of people are Atlanta people, and you're like, I see this person all the time.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. Let's see.
You wanna answer a few questions before you talk about?
Oh, for sure.
Okay, it's what's the best way to test and compare plugins to develop your ear? I guess I just want to understand, what do you mean by test and compare plugins? Like, are we talking like effects plugins, like compression, delay? Like, I mean, to be honest, bro, most plugins are really the same. You know what I mean?
Facts.
It's just the UI, UX, like the interface of it. Like, some of them have slightly different sounds, different presets, but they all pretty much do the same thing. It's more about knowing how to use it rather than what brand and what is the best. I mean, I got homies that could use the worst EQ there is, but they're knowing it so well of how they work, they would work better than any the best other plugin. You know what I'm saying? So it's just really about knowing what they do.
Facts. And it's rare that a plugin comes along and does something different. Like, for instance, Halftime by Cable Guys came along, amazing. Of course, everyone uses it now. But if you had Ableton, I don't know about other DAWs, but if you had Ableton prior to that,
shots.
no shots. But if you had Ableton prior to that, you could already do that. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, now I will say in Halftime, it sounds different, maybe better, depending on the sound you're going for, because it's designed specifically for that. But there are a lot of plugins that come out, even the ones that change the game. You could do them using a stream of plugins or a stream of stock plugins or a DAW that you already use already. But here's the thing. I could say you could use these 4 things together and achieve this result, or I could say I made this plugin to achieve this result. If I made the one thing to achieve this result, it's going to get higher praise than me telling you to use these 4 things to achieve this result. And I think that's what Halftime was.
Sure.
But saying all that to say, there are certain plugins that do something extremely well that is different, but not different. Yeah.
Young DJ MacGyver, what up, bro?
My brother.
Man.
Facts.
We got to get him on the show, bro. We need that energy, bro. MacGyver's energy is different.
Again. Yeah. Also, I posted a question on my Instagram today. What is your favorite plugin? So put that in the chat. And I'm talking effects or instruments.
Let's see. Slim, what up, Slim? Slim Trill says, what are some unique practices to develop your ears more efficiently? I ain't gonna front. I don't have unique ones. To me, like, it's like learning how to dribble a basketball. It's like fundamentals. It's just like doing the same drill over and over and over, even though it's not fun. But that's kind of how you build it. And then like replay. If you trying to train your ear for sound design and like sonics, it's just like remaking stuff and messing with textures. You know what I mean? But it's a lot of it is just experimenting and then just trying different things, understanding frequency ranges and like in space. You know what I mean? What stuff you don't want to overcrowd stuff. You want to give stuff space. And I feel like it's a balance. Once you figure out how to balance everything and just like replicate stuff, you'll start seeing patterns. But it's a lot of repetition. You know what I mean?
Bro, 100%. You actually touched on the biggest thing that I feel can help you with that. And it's like, okay, so if I'm listening to an album, it's like if let's say a song starts with a sample or something. I'll listen to how that sample is filtered. I'll listen to the effect that's put on it, and then listen to how it sounds when the drums come in. And like you said, recreating certain things. Like, oh man, that sounds dope the way it was together. There's a lot of stuff that may start with kind of a filter on it, or maybe a bit degradation on it, and then they bring in the high-end aspect of that when the drums come in for the chorus, or the certain thing. It's like listening to stuff like that and seeing how people mix things together and see how it responds to the 808, responds to the kick, responds to the snare with the certain filters on it. The recreation of it, like, that's really one of the main things for me when it comes to like training the ear. And also there's actual like pitch training. If you want to be one of those people, I always admire people that can get perfect pitch or know, like, when you hear Tony, like, oh, that's an A, or that's a B flat,
Charlie
or whatever. Exactly. Stuff like that. I like that. I'm the dude that used to do the Rubik's Cube on the plane or wherever, like in under 2 minutes, because it was an interesting thing to do. To me, that is the people that can understand the pitch of a sine wave like that. I think that that's the most amazing thing in the world to do. And if you can get that down, not only does it make you like a top 5% when it comes to a certain thing, but it kind of pushes you to pursue different things. You know what I mean? Like, to be like the guy or the girl when it comes to certain, certain aspects like that. So I would say strive for that.
It's funny you brought up the pitch thing. So, I've been working like on my theory a little bit more and trying to get better with like replaying stuff. And I could tell a difference, bro. And I haven't been doing like a course or anything. I just been like just practicing. I got like my daughter has like a little piano over here in my studio. So when I'm making beats, she has something to play on. And I use that because, when you got like a whole setup, you got to turn everything on. I like that because it's just right there. I could just play on it. And it's like, so I hear a song and I'll just like replay it. And I've been doing that like every day. I spend like 20 minutes just replaying songs. And now it's like, as soon as I hear the note, it's like my finger knows where to go. But I think it's just because the references in my head. And the same thing with DJing. Like I could hear a song and be like, oh, that's about a 94 BPM. But the only reason I could do it is because I have reference of what a 90 BPM is. I know what a 95 is. Like if you say 95 BPM, I can name songs that are that. If 100 BPM, I'm like, oh, Too Short, Blow the Whistle is 100 or 103 BPM. It's somewhere in that range, right? So I know that any song that's on that same pace is going to be that. And now it's like, I can instantly kind of just like, just jump and say what it is. So, I think that's kind of it is. You just got to practice, man. Tim Duncan, fundamentals.
There you go. And shout out to my guy, Jerry Nova. He's like that. I ain't seen Jerry in here in a minute, but Jerry he's one of those people.
Young legendary.
I'm trying to get into my I actually have some topics, but I'm trying to get to my phone right now.
We name some of these plugins. So Omnisphere 2, always a classic.
Always.
Omnisphere is like, what do you compare Omnisphere to? It's like the Walmart of of plugins. It's like, you just need to get some stuff. It's there. You know what I mean? If you need more niche stuff.
Omnisphere is like the pimped out Triton to me.
Good. That's
Nexus used to be the pimped out Triton. But then Omnisphere became the more pimped out Nexus.
What happened to Nexus, bro? Because they dropped a new one, and I saw that day it dropped. People were promoting it, like brand deal type stuff, and I ain't seen it since. I don't hear nobody talk about it.
So I don't know. I really want to know because I'm pretty sure it's fire. And there are I will say a few people got onto it and they consistently promoted it and they consistently talked about it. And there's sometimes when you feel like people are talking about a thing and you're like, nah, not really. And there's sometimes where you feel like people are talking about a thing, you're like, I just don't know about it, but it's probably fire. I feel like that about the latest Nexus. I believe it's Nexus 3. And I think the people I saw talking about it and constantly promoting it, they know something that I don't know, but for some reason, I just didn't find out yet.
I think it's the price, bro. I think now it's like you can get plugins way cheaper. Like my best friend Jacob's plugin is great, and it's like the price is like incredible. So it's like if I had to pick between that and Nexus, I'm gonna go with his because it's good. It's different sounds. It's a different texture of sounds, but like, you know what I'm saying? It's like if I'm trying to spend my money, like I looked at the Nexus and I'm like, bro, I'm not paying for this. I'm not spending. It's like $2,000 for it, and then I'm like, bro, I don't know if I like it like that. Like, I'm cool, bro.
Yeah, it's too many other options under that price range. Like for instance, even though they're not really the same thing, but if you had to choose between Nexus 3, I believe, and an arcade subscription of $10 a month or whatever it is, you probably would go with the subscription. Yeah. Even though in about 2-3 years it's gonna
add up.
For some reason, it's just like you can't really price your stuff too high when the market is saturated with stuff on your level.
Yeah, and the game's changed a lot, especially for plugins. It ain't like the old days where people spending $10,000 for the Mercury bundle. You know what I mean? Them days is gone.
Right. Dog, would you pay a monthly subscription? And this is to the chat, this is also to you. Would you pay a monthly subscription to Omnisphere?
If it was the right price.
What's the right price? And that may be a chat answer or maybe a you answer.
It would have to be somewhere I don't mind it. Like
$10 a month.
I'm not mad. If they update, I'm not mad. I would do it. If they
$20
update,
a month.
Now we like,
yeah, the line gets drawn quickly.
Yeah.
But there is a line, and it's not very far. So it shows you what people are willing to pay for now.
Yeah, that's facts.
Yeah.
Okay, so the chat is saying Nexus is hella expensive. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, I wish it wasn't, because Nexus, bro, I ain't gonna front. Nexus and Vanguard, ooh, that was such a fun times in production, man. If y'all weren't there for the Vanguard days with the gates, man.
Now you want to talk about danger?
Oh man, that was fun times.
Danger was the Vanguard guru.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it
Oh,
was going
come
crazy.
on. Facts.
Yeah. Say I would not pay monthly subscription. I like own my plugins. No, I'm not mad at you.
I'm
not mad at you at all.
Give me the option.
Yeah, have a lifetime deal. Yeah, monthly or lifetime deal. I'm not mad at it, bro.
LTD.
Facts. Arcade is $10 a month. I'm not mad at Arcade because they update.
That's why I started consistently. With that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Arcade's $10 a month, and I believe Serato Studio $10 a month.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Oh, you said studio. Okay, I'm
studio,
thinking sample.
not sample.
Okay, I was okay.
Now the best thing Serato Sample did was have a total buyout price.
Oh yeah, I love that plugin, bro.
Duh, I bought that. So I think Serato Sample, and correct me if I'm wrong, they started off, they could be $10 a month or I think it was like $100 just lifetime or something like that.
Yeah.
And whatever it was, I went for the lifetime immediately.
Oh yeah, same here. Is there? I need to write this down. I was about to say it out loud, but this is such a good idea that I don't need to say this out loud.
Okay.
It's one of those words.
No, we've been on it. So yeah,
hey, bro, when I say we've been on a vibe when it comes to like ideas and cooking up stuff, hey bro, we didn't came through with some stuff.
Okay, can I talk about my thing real quick?
Yeah, hold on. Let me say plugins that everybody said. So we got Sugar Bites Tornado. That's fire. I ain't used that one in a minute. I might pull that one out this weekend.
Oh, man. Bro, I constantly use that. 100%.
Arturia all day. Arturia got some fire stuff.
Oh, bro, 100%. Shout out to Arturia.
That Mellotron joint.
Yo, I emailed the guy from Arturia 2 days ago because I went back. You know, I got this new laptop, which I could also talk about too, which is incredibly fire, but it has something weird that I've never seen before. But anyway, the Arturia stuff, I put my essential stuff on this laptop, and Arturia was one of the few things I put on it. And it's so fire. I had to email the dude. Thanks to Tim Kelly. Tim Kelly got me the Arturia plug, and they sent me all this stuff. I had to email Arturia 2 days ago, like, yo, it's been over a year since y'all hooked me up with everything, and this shit is so fire. I have a laptop now that I need this, like 3 other things, and I'm good.
I ain't mad at you, bro. Them joints all hit, bro.
100%. So
Tony Versati says 4,319 for the full Nexus. Sheesh.
No.
Bruh, ain't no way, boy. Boy,
ain't no way, boy. Ain't no way, boy.
Ain't no way, boy. Ain't no way.
Ain't no way, boy.
Shout out to Duke Dennis. Ain't no way, boy.
Ain't no way, boy. I don't know how much Motif 6 was. I don't know how much Triton. I don't know how much any of them joints were. I don't remember, but it wasn't $4,000. I don't remember how much a Nico was, but it wasn't $4,000.
I'm so cheap, bro. I look at the OP1. I want one so bad, but I'm so cheap. The idea it's so tiny, bro, and I'm spending that money. I'm like, I can't do it, bro. I can't like fix my brain to buy that, even though I know it's incredible. You know what I mean? Yeah, I can't do it. So 4,000 for Nexus ain't happening, bro.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie. Don't talk about that OP1. I'm in a state of.
Oh, I know, bro. If anybody know about the money spending that's been going on, it's the other person who's been going crazy. It's been ugly out here, bro.
Me and this man slowly need a program.
It's been bad, man. It's been bad, but it's for a cause. It's for a good cause.
Oh, it's for a great cause. 100%. 100%. And we'll talk about that more later.
Yeah, invest in yourself, but you know, do it a little bit slower than what we did because went a little crazy. Let's see. My go-to VST is Sub Boom Bass by Rob Papin.
Rob Papin. I say Papin.
Papin.
I don't know.
Was Papin? No, I like Papin. Papin sound fire.
What's Papin? I like that.
We don't even care what the real pronunciation. I'm like, yeah, no, that sounds better. Let's go with that.
Rob Papin. He's been fired. First of all, Sub Boom Bass is amazing. I'll tell you 2 of my favorite patches from that. It's not really going to be like a OD secret to people that are put onto that plugin, but it's the 808. I think it's called the 808 sub, and then the next patch after that, the 808 sub boosted.
Bro, that's the one. That joint has been used on so many because it's so clean. It's like the perfect. It's clean.
Super clean.
It's like if you want those, like, how do I say this? Like, immediately makes me think of T-Pain, but that's not. When you want those like popish R&B, like you want 808, but you don't want it to be like ratchet. You know what I mean? You want a clean. To me, that's like the best. Or you doing like a dance hall kind of vibe. Those work really well. That's like my joint. I know that same preset, bro.
Yeah, it's like the first two presets in like bank 3 or bank 4 or whatever it is. You'll find it in there, but it's like the top.
I think it's bank 4.
Bank. Bruh.
That is the joint.
Incredibly fire. As a matter of fact, when I started designing 808s, I based my 808 designing skills off of those two 808s.
That's a good starting point.
And after that, if I could create those with like using what's the joint in Ableton, like Wave operator. If I could make those with operator, then I was good. That's when I determined I was straight, and then I could start adding like distortion and different plugins to it, and that's what got me my 808 style of design today. So shout out to Rob Papin.
Yes, sir.
Pappin.
What's Pappin? He said he need to make more. I miss Albino 3. Yo, Albino 3 was that was a classic.
I've said on several episodes of this podcast over the years, Albino 3 has some of the best basses that I still use to this day.
I don't even know if I got it anymore, but that was good times when I was using it. Huh.
Crazy. Albino 3, super slept on, and Zebra from Uhi, super slept on. And there's so many like third-party sample packs for Zebra, but Zebra, super slept on, and Albino 3, super slept on. Yes, indeed.
J Love says, speaking of money, did y'all cash them BMI ASCAP royalties today?
No. Well, they're coming.
I need to look at my bank account to see if that direct deposit hit.
They're coming. Shout out to Lamont Graves. Lamont Graves reminded me that today is BMI payday.
Dang, good times. I remember when they used to have separate days. Like ASCAP, that was the only reason I wanted ASCAP, because it was faster. It's like every 3 months, and then one was 6 months, and then now they all the same.
Yeah.
This is who you know.
Yeah, today is being my payday. So I haven't even checked, I'll be honest with you, but I'm pretty sure it's something that arrived at the crib, or not at the crib, because I'm not at the crib. So my stuff is being held by the city I live in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's good to know. I probably need to start memorizing those kind of dates. I'd be so thinking about other stuff. I don't be thinking about that. When it's like when you see, you're like, oh, that's nice. Thanks.
My wife tells me, you got something from such and such in the mail. And I'll be like, all right, bet. Because it'll either be BMI or like In Music or Ableton or something like that. So it's different days throughout the year. And my wife just reminds me like, oh, you got something in the mail from this person, or you got something in the mail from that person.
Thanks. So let's hear about your
yeah. So, before I get into that, we just touched on something that I feel like I have to talk about. Passive income.
Oh, big facts.
It's one, if you don't know what passive income, it means income from something that you do one time and you continue to get paid off of it. I.e., what we were just talking about in the previous conversation, which is like if you do a song and, royalties and things like that. That's passive income. You only had to make the song once and you continue to get paid for it every X amount of months over X amount of time. With me, it's with sound designer, with certain companies, as well as royalties. I get paid for a certain amount of things every X amount of months over a certain amount of time. That should really be your goal, because when it comes to passive income, for instance, like for some reason as producers, we're trained or almost brought up on a do something today to make X amount of dollars today. But the thing is, if you look at a lot of how the people you look up to make money, it's because they did something great one time and they continue to make money from that, and then they do something else great one time and they continue to make money from it. So not to go into a long story about it, but just to say, kind of think about that stuff just when you're thinking about how you're going to make different streams of income, because those count as different streams of income. So sync licensing, doing songs where you create royalties, maybe getting with companies and doing sample packs with companies. All those things will create royalties. And, those are things I do. Those are things that Trista does. And just every now and again, every, quarterly or whatever, you'll get a check in the mail like, oh, yeah, that's when that thing I did 4 years ago, 5 years ago. And depending on how hard it hit, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, 20 years ago. Right. You know what I mean? And now you can get into a territory where it's like, 30, 40, 50 years ago, where your kids, or your kids.
That's when you're doing it.
So that's just the thing to, just to bring up.
Big, that's super important, man. Especially if you could do it off the same. This is a mentor I have, and he would say people mess up because they would try to do like everybody says get 7 like different passive incomes, right? But he says how everybody messes up is they do it. People try to do 7 separate things. He said the goal is to do 7 things based off of one thing that you've done. So if you've already doing like me already doing music, if I base the producer kit is based off me doing music, you know what I'm saying? Me getting placements is based off me doing music, sync license, all of this is still like variations of me doing music, right? It's just different incomes coming in. And if you could do that, that's the goal, because then you could, it's like how we do the podcast, and then you get the clips, you can get blogs, you can get posts. It's so many variables that you could get out of doing that one thing. If you think about how to, finesse it. It's like if life is giving you lemon, you make lemon pie, lemonade, you know what I mean?
Lemon loaf, which I had today. Lemon loaf.
I don't even know what that is, but you know what I mean?
It's like banana bread, but lemon. Yes, indeed.
That's facts. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Even a lot of one hit wonders still get money, question mark, because the song is so definitely big. Like, yes. And from shows, mostly. Yes. Do you think these one hit wonders ain't going to Germany and taxing for these shows? And you know what I mean? Like you can make a good living off of doing that, bro.
Yes.
Yeah. You can, because the hardest part is notoriety. That's the word I'm looking for. But like people knowing you. I feel like that's the hardest part. Like once you got people who are invested in you, you there. Like Backstreet Boys gonna sell out every concert. They gonna sell till they 70, 80 years old. Because them women love Backstreet Boys. They're not going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? As long as they put on a show, people gonna show up because they're invested.
So I'm in a remote part of the world. I go to certain restaurants every day. I'm a creature of habit. And there are certain playlists that they play. Like you could just walk past the joint on a certain night. You know what playlist they're gonna play. They got certain artists that they play their playlist every night. And that is how these people make money. Like, for instance, there's a restaurant that I love out here. 7 days out of the week, 4 days, they're going to play this Bruno Mars playlist. Then they're going to play a Backstreet Boys playlist. And a few people that you mentioned. Those people constantly making money off of those playlists.
Oh, yeah. Forever.
Bruh, no shortage. No shortage. I'm on the plane. I put if I put the plane, the headphones in, and don't connect to the Wi-Fi, I'm gonna hear those same songs all the time.
So Sumtril says, how will we approach that? Like making sample packs with companies? Man, or you want to answer that? I feel like you're a good person to answer that because I have do your thing.
Yes. So I think I talked about this on a few shows before, but the way I got in with certain companies, I used 2 companies, for example. I use InMusic and Ableton. For instance, InMusic, which owns 9, maybe more companies to this day, with some of those companies being Akai, Sonovox, Newmark, and a few other companies. A friend of mine, and I'll kind of go back and make it quick. When I left my studio in Baltimore, there was a message on the answering machine from a guy in New York named Will. Shout out to my guy, Will. I called him when I moved to Atlanta just because I had nothing going on. I was trying to get things popping. And Will was like, I just want to help you out. And I was skeptical at first, but he was just a guy who was kind of in the music industry, but He just wanted to help because he saw my MySpace page. He was like, yo, you're fire. He reached out to a few companies. One of them happened to be in music. It was like, y'all know this guy. After Will learned about me, he's like, he makes sounds. He does this, that, and the third. Y'all should talk to him. They called me. They talked to me. And I asked them about making sounds for upcoming products, things that they had, asked them what they had going on, XYZ. We ended up inking a deal, and I've been working with them ever since. So shout out to In Music, which owned Akai, like I said, Newmark, and Sonovox, and a few other people. Then with Ableton, which everyone knows that I love. I'm a huge Ableton user. I just became a master of Ableton because I loved it so much. I met Tech Beats at a studio that I used to work at with Polo. Tech Beats kind of wanted to learn some Ableton stuff from me because he heard I was very proficient in it. He was very persistent. He hit me up, and I'm so happy he kept hitting me up. He became my brother. And, oh, by the way, shout out to Tech Beats. It's his birthday today.
Oh, word. I got to hit him.
Today. Him and Stoney. I'll talk about Stoney in a minute. But it's Tech Beats' birthday today. Oh, anyway, he hit me up. He ended up working with Ableton doing demos at like guitar centers and things across the way. He put me in touch with Houston, who we've had on the podcast, who's like the king, whatever, of sound at Ableton. He hooked me up with Cole Godfrey. Shout out to Cole, a.k.a. DJ Kodiak, who's like the head of artist relations at Ableton. They came to the crib with Decap. I talked about that on a couple shows ago. And that's how I got tied in with Ableton. Then they updated, and some of my racks that I made got implemented with Ableton. The Ableton that comes with it, and some of the packs, that they release when you get Ableton that you could download. Some of the racks I did are in there. Some of the sounds I did are in there. I've been to Ableton Loop and taught workshops, stuff like that. So that's how I got tied in with Ableton. So if you're looking for a way, I'm not quite sure how it works. Now, this was kind of a while ago, but if you're dope at what you do, like really dope at what you do, you really know these people's product. Because with In Music, I'm a huge MPC fan. My first thing was MPC 2097. I've had almost every MPC. No, I've had every MPC since then and some before then. I know their product. I know their company. I know everything about them very well. Shout out to Native Instruments. Same thing with Native Instruments. And shout out to Ableton. You know, I know Ableton in and out like the back of my hand. And then you reach out to these people. And if you can get in touch with the right person that you can demonstrate your knowledge base of their product to them and how dope you are on their product, chances are you might get some type of opportunity. But the thing is, don't just reach out just to reach out. Like, know their shit. Know what they do. Know what they're doing. Be an expert on what they already have and be able to pivot on what they will be coming out with. And the good chance is you'll be able to get put in touch with somebody.
Yeah. It's weird because it's so much like getting the placements. Because I don't know. You remember we was at NAMM and we was with Busy. It was the time we was going to speak at, was it Anaheim? I forget, what's the studio name? How was the studio? Love, was it Love, Laughter?
Shout out to Uncle Joey.
The Uncle Joey, yeah, cool, super cool people. And I remember Busy introduced us to this lady. I forgot her name, but she was like over all of these companies. I want to say her name was like Caroline or something.
Catherine or Caroline.
Yeah, it's one of them, right? But what it was is, okay, he knew the person who was in charge or could make some decisions or get you to the person. He had value because he has a following. And then he had value because he was introducing her to us. You get what I'm saying? So that's another, for him, it's like a win-win. You get what I'm saying? It's like, it shows his value. And then he's bringing more value of like, hey, I could bring more people in if you need it. You know what I'm saying? So for her, it's a good deal because now she can reach more people. And even like the other day, somebody had hit me about like, yo, I want to sell my sounds on your site. And for me, I'm not opposed to that, right? But it would have to be something either I don't have and I can't get normally, or you're bringing traffic. You know what I'm saying? If it's one of those two, then I will gladly, because those are two things I need right now. You know what I'm saying? But if you're doing the same thing that everybody else is doing, it's, you know, same thing with beats. You know what I mean? It's like if you're doing the same thing everybody else is doing, it's going to be a little bit harder. But if you can find an angle that people aren't really targeting, or if you could bring traffic and you got a following, that's what pays, bro. That's what's going to get you the money.
Dog, you hit the nail on the head. Because with Ableton, it was like, it's like, oh, this dude is doing stuff outside of Ableton, but then there's this AI. Remember, I was doing the whole AI.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, he did an AI with Ableton, and then that's what really sparked their attention, and that's what got me tied in. So you are 1,000,000% right. It's like I think you said it as something that I can't get, or something that I don't remember what the second thing.
Oh, the traffic.
Or the traffic. 100%.
Because for me, I'm trying to scale now. It's like, all right, we have the proof of concept. This is working. How do I reach more people? Right. And it's like, if your only contribution is the sound, for me, that's not that much. Because we do this already. We already have the system for it. You know what I'm saying? So for me paying you 50% of something that, or whatever the, you know, split is, or something that I got to market, promote, and do all this stuff, it doesn't make as much sense. But if you had a following, right, then it's like, makes a little more sense to me. You know what I'm saying? You're willing to take that bullet or take a risk with it, because the opportunity for success is way higher rather than somebody who doesn't. So that's why it's important to do content. And I know that's ironic coming from me, who
No, you killed it. No, I don't have air horns right now.
Hey, but we're getting prepared. We are almost there.
Facts. All right, so I guess, hold on, because they say it feel like 94 out here. I agree.
Bro, you look like you is at a pulpit right now preaching. You know how the preacher just finished saying something? You got to wipe the sweat off?
I feel like every sentence I say, I need to say, well.
Somebody got to play it.
I got the hello somebody sweat.
Look to your neighbor.
Whoa.
Let's see. What can you bring to add value? Man.
That's up to you.
Yeah.
Look at what the person has. That's the one thing I would say. Look at the one thing that the person has, and then figure out what they don't have that you feel is dope that you could bring to them.
That's right. No, perfect. I mean, we tell the story all the time. When I met Oracle, right, I had in my mind, one, we were going to be cool, because I was already a fan because I've heard his stuff, right? I heard his stuff before I even knew who he was. Then I figured out he was from Virginia. I'm like, oh, we good, bro. I was determined, right? We did business together, right? But then he would be doing stuff, or I would go like hang out, and you'd be like, oh, I need a logo, or I'm trying to do this. And I happen to know about that. It's totally non-music related. We were talking about websites and like graphic design, but like, you know, I was a designer at one point. I was designing stuff. So it's like, yo, I help you with that. And I'm not doing it to like, oh, I need you to do this. I'm just doing it because it's like, hey, I want to see this part win. But now it's like, bro, that's how the plays is made. It's like, yo, he helps me with certain stuff, like business wise. And then it's like, yo, design wise, like, yo, what do you think it is? Or, you know what I mean? And that's how we kind of, so we, you know, you got to find a way to kind of fit in. Like if you're good at something else, like somebody needs that, bro. You know what I mean?
Yes. 100%. Like, dog, you're right. And it's crazy because my networking abilities weren't really 100% when I met you. So just the fact that I would need certain things, you'd be like, no, I got that. And I'm like, this dude is okay. Because I need it. And it's totally unrelated to what I knew you from.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it worked. You know, now I'm like, okay, a little more attuned to it. But I'm like, 100%. And I still use like that logo, like 60%.
Oh, that's crazy.
Like, no, Trisha did this logo. So
yeah, I mean, you just gotta fit in, bro. Like, I'm trying to think what else I would say. I mean, just like, you know, find stuff that people need. If someone said they could edit video and they could edit video well, we could have a conversation right now. Yes. What's the conversation? Let's talk. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I'm looking for right now. It's certain stuff that I'm looking for. I like Wiseman hit me with some stuff. No, we gonna talk, bro. We gonna figure this out because you see a need and we're gonna address it. You know what I'm saying? Like if you can help me, cool. I'm no issue helping. You know what I mean? It just got to make sense for the time. You know what I mean? That's what a lot of people. I think people get upset. It's like if this person didn't hit me back, bro. It be people I'd be like cool with, and I forget to hit them back. I'd be so busy. It's not personal. It's just like, yo, I'm trying to get business done, and in the moment, if this is helping me, then I can pay attention to it. You know what I'm saying? But if it's, you know, if it's something that's just like bro, I'm terrible with my DMs, bro. I got to get better, bro. That's another thing I got to do. I'm mad at myself because IDK sent me some gems and I was mad that that didn't sit in my inbox. Like I was pissed earlier.
Bruh, yo, 100%, you killed it. Listen, add value. Look at what people, because sometimes people don't know what they're missing or they don't say what they're missing. Just look at what people don't have and be like, or look at what people do and make it easier on them. That's kind of how I got in the game. I'm like, dog, like with certain people, I'm like, you're known for this. I know it takes a lot of time to do this. I do this. I can do this for you. You won't have to do this anymore. That immediately made me valuable. And then it was with one person, and then I did it with another person, and then another person, and another person. You kind of got to pay attention. That's all. That's right. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, Love and Laughter is the studio. We gotta pull back up, man. They was good people.
Love and Laughter. Yes, indeed. People, man. Shout out to Uncle Joey. Shout out to Carmen. Man, they were amazing.
Oh man, I miss her, dog. She was cool as hell.
She was, yeah. I gotta check her IG. I ain't seen her in a minute.
Oh, yeah, I gotta remember what it was.
Yeah, but okay. So as promised in the email, I was going to talk about what made me move to a different country out the blue. So I'll start this by saying the move to a different country thing. It's a temporary move. It was never a permanent move. But most people go to a different country to vacation. I did not come here to vacation. I talked to, I was on the phone with Treza. At this point, it was a little over a month ago. And I was just like, you know, it would be cool, dog, to just like go to a different part of the world and just live there and see what happens. Literally, that's how this whole thing started.
On some random.
It was it wasn't even like the theme of the conversation. It wasn't even like a main topic. It was kind of like we were talking about something and that was an afterthought. But I went to sleep that night. I woke up thinking about it. The next day thinking about it. So on and so forth, to the point where it took me only a few days to be like, I think this is something that I want to do. So I found a spot on this place, spin the globe, found a spot on the globe that was like, you know, weighed out the options in an intelligent way, not just haphazardly, but like, you know, like X amount of time and this amount of space, like living there. And I picked a spot and I went there. But the main reason was two things. Number one, you have to live vicariously through yourself sometimes. And if you've been watching the show, you've heard me say that probably for the last 3 or 4 podcasts. A lot of times you see people do things and you're like, I want to do that. I want to do that. And I question myself and say, can I do that? And secondly, do I think it would be fun/beneficial to do that? And the answer was yes. So I picked a spot. I moved here for an extended amount of time. As you can tell, it's been 3.5 weeks. Like this is probably at least the 3rd podcast I've done, and you've seen the same backdrop. I'm still here. This is clearly not a 4-day, 5-day.
Yeah, that ain't no like, oh, we gonna
bro, it's
do
been
a little
like
excursion.
It's been like a month that I've been here. I live here right now, temporarily. And I'll say, number one, the main thing is sometimes you have to reset yourself. I don't know how much life you've lived. I've lived enough life and been through enough things to where I'm like, it would be cool to A, cross off some bucket list stuff, and B, reset. Just get around a total different culture, a total different place, a total different way of life, food, everything. Compare that to what you know, learn new things, meet new people, be in a completely different environment. But the environment for me, one of the criteria, the environment for me had to be serene. It had to be something that brought peace. It had to be something I wanted to look at every day. And if you look behind me, how can you not want to look at this every day, right? So I just kind of did that. And I will say the effects of it on me have been profound. It puts a lot of things to perspective. I've been out here talking to a lot of people, just seeing how they do life, how they view things. Bro, it's amazing. So you may be saying like, okay, well, I can't go live in wherever the hell you are in the world. The thing is this: change up your environment from time to time. Change up the people you talk to. Change up the food you eat. Change up the things that you are exposed to as much as you can, even if it's in your city. The effects on it, you, the effects of it on you will be profound. And then when you go back to what you do on a regular basis, the way you regularly do it, you'll take a piece of that with you. And that's all I was hoping for out of all of this. Like I've probably been here for maybe a month now.
You've been out there, bro.
I've been here for a while.
You a citizen now.
Like, yeah. Like I said, it wasn't like a vacation. Like I'm taking a quick vacation. Like, no. I plan to go somewhere else in the world to live. That's Triz is like the only person in the world I told this to.
Yeah.
Aside from my wife, of course.
I was like, oh, that sounds fun. And he's like, no, I'm going for real. Like, I'm out. I'm like a couple weeks. Yeah. It's like, no, I'm out.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm out. And it was like a matter of maybe a week or 2 weeks. I remember that conversation we had, like, I'm going to do it. And then next thing you know, like, I got a spot. Next thing you know, I'm like, I'm going. And I think I've been out here since September 3rd. And today is the 17th. Today is the 17th. And I'm still not gone. I'm still here. I'm still here. I love this place. I'm coming back.
Oracle on his Wolf of Wall Street. I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving.
That's a fact. I'm Jordan Belfort, bro. I'm Jordan Belfort. But saying all that to say, sometimes it takes changing up your environment, changing up the people you're around, changing up the things you do, the things you see. It doesn't have to be this extreme, but you kind of get stuck into a routine.
That's right.
And depending on who you are and the routine you have, you may look around. And if you evaluate if things are working for you or not, you may see that what you're doing currently as a whole is not quite working.
Sure.
Might need to change up a couple things. The people, the scene, the knowledge.
That's right.
Even the where you look online for information, stuff like that. So I just encourage people. You don't have to change up as much as I did. Fortunately, thank God, I've been doing this for long enough that I've done enough things where I can afford to change up this drastically. But even if it's not this drastically for you, change up small things. Yeah, like you said, anything. Change up anything. And it may change your perspective. It may change your look on life. A lot of us get stuck into a pattern that's not quite working. And we keep repeating that pattern. And in some parts of my life, I felt like I was repeating that pattern. It's a lot of things for me that's working. Once again, I'm very grateful. If you've been seeing my stories lately, I wake up every morning, I'm thankful. I look at this shit and I'm super grateful. But I was also stuck in patterns that weren't quite working for me.
Switch it up.
100%. You killed it. Switch it up, bro. Just like, or sis, or whoever's watching. Every now and again, switch up various things in what you're doing, various sceneries of what you're doing, and you will be surprised how much of your life changes. So via my email this morning, for people that got it, I said I would explain why I moved to a different country out of the blue. And although it's a temporary move, I'll be coming back eventually. I don't know, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like I said, it's been 3-4 episodes we've been doing this, and I'm still here. It's tempting to stay here. I may come back eventually, but just change up certain things in your life or certain aspects of your life that you do every day, because you may be stuck in a stale pattern that is hindering you. So just change up things little by little, and you'll be surprised how much your life changes.
Victoria said that's a green screen. I didn't see the trees move once. He said just
somebody said that last week, like, yo, your green screen is amazing. They're like, yo, you got a dope green screen. Nope, not a green screen.
I ain't gonna front, bro. I feel like your trip has got me hyped too, because we've been on some turned upness, bro.
Whoa,
we've been, bro. Because I mean, it makes sense though. You know, I mean, especially of what we're doing and what we're trying to accomplish. You know, you got to portray what it is where you want to be, And I feel like I didn't take that as serious. You know what I'm saying? Not that I didn't take it serious, but I'm investing in myself more. I understand what comes. Yeah,
you definitely are.
Oh, yeah. I'm sick, bro. But I know it's gonna pay off. I know it's gonna pay off, but I'm sick. I'd be like, oh, bro, I gotta slow down. I gotta stop, bro. I gotta stop.
We both gotta stop.
But the good thing is, it's just like a course. I feel like when you pay for a course, you're gonna use it. You're gonna learn it because you don't work hard to pay this money for it. I done paid some money for some stuff. I'm about to work hard. You know what I mean? I'm about to get the most out of this. So you know what I mean? That's why I'm confident about this content stuff. That's why I'm like, oh, it's coming. I'm good.
Yeah, oh no, you put
in. we went crazy.
Oh my God, still going crazy. I had Trezor yesterday with almost a help me text, like, yo, help me.
Bro, it's bad. It's bad. But hey, crazy. Invest in yourself, man. You know, if you're gonna be on the camera, be seen, you know, what is it? Dress for the job you want,
not the job you have.
Yeah.
Listen, man. Yeah, it's going down. It's been a lot of investments put in. I forgot what I was going to say, but it's been a lot of investments put in. But
wait, someone says, so I'm thinking the marriage is over. Oracle, tell the lady who looks just like your wife in the next room to don't, to duck.
I am pointing at my wife right now, right there. She's right there. No. Yeah, I definitely see. That's the thing too. On some real G shit. As a person. This will make DJ MacGyver proud, because DJ MacGyver always said I'd never do this type of stuff. As a person that's done things over the years, not told people exactly what I've done, not told people exactly what I've garnered from it, I am not the person who's been married for 10 years that would not bring my wife of 10 years and one of my best friends of 18 years not here with me right now. No, she's 1,000,000% right there.
I ain't going for it, bro. It's dope because now the more I think about it, I've seen you go from the person that people didn't know existed to being now I see where you're going, but you're low key turned up. Like Oracle's like turned up right now, and I like seeing like bro, this is cool. Like seeing literally, I had to argue with people that he was a real person. I remember being in the studio and people was like, I heard this is a dude, and I'm like, dog, I know him, bro. And they's like, no, you don't know him, bro. Nobody. I'm like, I could call. I was a time I know exactly what I was at Southside, and I called Oracle like, yo, they don't believe you're real, bro. Like I'm trying to tell them I know you, bro. Like you're a real person. To now, you in the middle of the ocean doing promo. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about.
Bro, I've known DJ MacGyver since 2004, 2005, when like my life was done. Like it seemed like shit was over, bro. And so that's why he was always like, man, you don't tell people like where you were and what you got now and all this type of stuff. And I just, for some reason, the last couple months or maybe the last month or two, I'm just like, yo, you gotta live vicariously through yourself sometimes. I'm actually gonna, I think if time is willing after this podcast, I'm gonna make a post of a picture of me out here because I took a ton of pictures. I think I took some pictures today with this shirt on. And just gonna say, sometimes you gotta live vicariously through yourself because you do. Sometimes you have to be your own hero. But
that's real. Yeah, your effort muscle has been on 1,000, bro. You've been on some very very like, yo, I'm doing it. Hey, if I want to do it, I'm doing it. That's the vibe you've been on.
I mean, I appreciate it.
Hey, which is great, but it's also terrible because peer pressure has gotten to me and I'm doing the same thing. And now it's terrible. Now I'm like, I'm over here like, I got to work, bro. I got to do more work because this is bad, bro.
Bro, but a lot of stuff I'm doing is based off of what you've been encouraging me to do.
This it's good, man.
I hit Trezor yesterday with a text like, yo, I think I did too much today.
Yeah.
I think a whole day today.
You low key kind of did, bro. But hey, I ain't mad. I'm not. Who am I to judge? Because I'm probably gonna do the same thing tomorrow. Let's see. Prentice says, I always felt that it was hard to make a change until the beginning of the year. You have to pivot ASAP, bro. That is bro. That when someone explained to me, it's like, bro, why do you wait? Because that's how I was. I'm like, yo, January, I'm gonna start. And dude was like, yo, why not do it now? What's the difference?
Slim, it's a fallacy.
Bro,
that is a fallacy.
And that blew my mind off. So I try not to feed into like that new year, new me thing. It's like every couple months, where are my goals? Am I getting close? Am I off? You know what I mean? It's like I do it like quarters. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna have a game plan. Am I off? Am I on? Okay, what do I gotta switch up? All right, cool. And then go back to it.
Start now. My thing is, if you can start now, or you can start at a date based off of something else like Christmas or New Year's that you had no idea, nothing with making up, why wouldn't you start now versus that date that someone else made up? Right. You want the change. You want the results ASAP. If you want the results ASAP, you start ASAP. Mm-hmm. You don't wait till New Year's. You don't wait till your birthday. My birthday was maybe 2-3 weeks before all of this. I could have easily waited till my birthday. Right. Why? Once I had that conversation with you on the phone that night,
he was like, I'm here.
I was like, nah, we're going to work this out. And then a week later, I'm like, I got the plan. And then a week later, I was like, I'm gone. And a month later, I'm here.
Yeah.
I could have waited till January, but why? You don't benefit yourself by waiting until January or New Year's or your birthday or anything like that, unless you're really not ready to make the move, or you really don't want it. Because if you really want it and you make that decision, like, yo, now is my time. Now is when I want to start to be great. You're going to do that shit now, because the word now should be attached to every sentence that you have on top of every thought that you have. Now is the time. You start now. And I started now. And shit, now is then. This would have easily been March of 2022.
Yeah, that's right.
Instead, this shit is 4 weeks from when I had that conversation with you.
Yeah. Hey, bro, you've been pulling the trigger. I ain't gonna front. My dog been on the early Kanye. It's been like that for a minute, Hetty Slimane. You've been on that vibe. Hey, I love it, dog. I like seeing all my friends turn up, dog. No, one of my other homeboys like moved across he hated his job. He quit. Ended up getting the job of his dreams, dog. The job he's been talking about for years, moved across the country and living. I was like, bro, this is dope, man. Like, I love seeing the turn up, you know what I mean? And seeing people elevate. Yeah. Just like, now it's like, all right, now I was like, all right, now I got to step up, you know what I mean? But now I got to do more. I could be doing better. I see what these people doing, putting in work and getting. It's like, all right, now I got to do more stuff, put in the work. So it's dope, man. It's good to have people like that around you.
By the way, everybody out there in UnQuantized land, do not sleep. Trizza is about...
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
He's about to change before your very eyes. He's about to step it up.
Okay, man.
Hey, man, shit. Listen, he's about to step it up in a major way.
Hey, we going crazy, man.
Yo, somebody hit me last week like, yo, bro, I see you out there stepping it up, man. Y'all go crazy. I was like, wait for Trizza.
Oh, yeah, my homeboy hit me. No, one of my homeboys hit me. He said, I don't know what you're doing, but I see it coming. He said, I know what you're about to do. I don't know exactly what it is, but I already peeped it. I said, all right, I'm glad you know. I'm glad you know what's up.
Bam. Listen when I tell you, watch my man.
Hey, man.
Don't watch me.
Hey, man.
Watch my man.
Hey, don't watch me. Watch TV. You know what I mean?
And by the way, to the person that said I have a dope screensaver, screensavers don't change time of day.
Hey, you got wallpaper engine? They do.
That's wallpaper, true.
Wallpaper engine go ham now. That's the one thing about PC. I'm like, this is so many cool things. Little random apps like that.
That's true.
Yeah.
Shout out to PC. By the way, where I am, it's dark at 6 p.m. every day. That's why we've been ending the podcast. Actually, it's 5:40. It's not too bad out here. About like 6:15, it's pretty pitch black. It gets dark really bad.
Oh, yeah. Prentice says the 12-week year by Brian P. Morgan is something I'm reading and implementing. I like Brian Morgan. Let me pull up my Audible. See if they get that.
I think Tim Ferriss might have referenced that or something close to that in the 4-hour work week or whatever it was. Yep.
Yeah, I need to, bro. I'm looking for some stuff like that. Thank you, Prentice, because Audible credit. You know what I mean? Let's go. Let's download.
Facts, though.
Yeah, I need some good stuff. I ain't gonna front. I had a little downtime. I had got sick, and then it was just life was kicking my ass. But I'm motivated. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm back curious, watching courses, learning stuff, and
you want it. You want it. You keeping me inspired. I've been down since November, bro. And that's it's no secret to people that know me, but to people that don't know me, I went back home in November. My grandmother passed, and I've been kind of like down since then. So now it's my like coming back type of thing, which sparked all this shit here. But my brother Trizza, he has been on it. A couple other people I know, they've been on it, and that's really, really inspired me. So yeah, for sure.
Let's see. Ryan Smiley says, should I plug my computer into the power conditioner or go buy an UPS? Somewhat embarrassing question, but I don't care anymore.
Not really an embarrassing question. I would just based off of that question, I would say UPS, just because if the power goes out, I don't know if the power conditioner itself will go out, but the UPS would stay on. And that's the only thing I know out of that question. So anything that will stay on in the event of a power outage, I would go for that.
I was gonna say you should get a DHL because the EMS joints, you know what I mean? They not quite USPS for the UPS. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All that. All that. Wait. Real quick, there was a topic brought up. Shout out to my brother EA Ski, and it's his birthday tomorrow. Shout out to EA Ski.
Young EA Ski.
Yeah. Look, Virgo gang, man. Like I said, Stoney birthday today, Tech Beast birthday today, EA Ski birthday is tomorrow. But he did a video, and it's a great question. I've talked about this before, and he just happened to bring up a video, which is very good. And it's like, I am what's it called? Shortening it, for lack of a better word. You know what I'm saying? Paraphrase, thank you. I'm paraphrasing it, by the way, but it's like, the question is, what if you are working really hard on the thing that you are not really the greatest at?
Who?
Listen, that question hits everybody. Your response right there was on point. That is a tough pill to swallow. And I believe his caption was tough pill to swallow. But what if you are working really hard on the thing that you are not really the best to do? For instance, if you're trying to be a producer, but you may be better at being a copywriter or a publisher or just any other thing, would you, and I don't, and now this is when I go into my own thing. I don't know if this is what his video was saying, but shout out to him for coming up with the concept. But would you be willing to accept that? And also, do you feel like you might be doing yourself a disservice by focusing so strongly on the thing that you want to do and not really trying out other things that are related that you may be better at? It's not really a topic that I'm answering on here. It's more of a question that I'm having based off of the question that he posed. Damn. And that's a very good question. Listen, fam.
That's tough. Because you don't, that's tough. Because you don't want to tell people like, hey, you probably should hang it up, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, bro, I know people who done the same thing and they haven't got any better, but they're probably way better at something else. But like, as far as making beats, in 10 years haven't got better. And it blows my mind that how do you do the same thing for 10 years and don't get better? But I think that's a issue with yourself. And I think as long as you don't have that issue, you kind of self-aware, then I think you could grow to be like a better, because I say it all the time. When I started making beats, I don't feel like I was good, right? Everybody else around me was good, but I wasn't. It took me a while to pick it up at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? But then when I got it, I think I was more dedicated to working every day at it. I would just like nonstop make beats. I was going to figure it out. You know what I mean? So I feel like I picked it up, but I was self-aware that I was bad. Me knowing that I was bad was the best thing for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't drink the Kool-Aid. I wasn't like, I'm like, oh, I'm good now. You know what I mean? I think that's where people get, you know what I mean? Kind of messed up. It's like when you feel confident that I'm great and then you're not that great, I feel like that's a dangerous place of like, of you're going to get stuck in a loop. You know what I mean?
No, 100%. Listen, I was kind of in that boat twice at the same time, and I didn't realize it. One was I wanted to be the biggest producer in the world. Everyone, I'm sorry, if you're a producer, you've either had this, I'm not gonna call it fantasy, but this visualization of you being one of the greatest producers in history, i.e., a Timbaland, a Dr. Dre, a Puff. You know what I'm saying? Or, that's kind of what you mainly envision, right? But I kind of had that, and then I started working with people that were such. And then I tell the story on here all the time. I realized a lot of me is not cut out for a lot of that life. Outside of production, I'm as a
That's
person,
a lot come with it.
bro.
Like a lot come with that, bro.
It's more about what comes with it versus what you can do production wise. So I realized that was not me. And I'm like, okay, this is not really the thing. And then it's when I met Polo, and also when I met Timbaland, is when they were like, yo, where you get these talents from? You're a dope sound designer. I've never called myself a sound designer in the world at this point. Never even knew. You kind of know what a sound designer is, but based off the title. But I'm kind of just like, I guess, whatever. Never thought of myself in that light. And then I started thinking of myself in that light because that's where people saw a lot of value for me at. Those were two instances where I took the cue of life. I did not force the issue in saying, no, Timbaland, I want to be Timbaland. I was like, no, Polo, I want to be Polo. They were like, yo, what's this other thing that you do that you're not paying attention to? That's so valuable. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should focus more on this. And then seeing things that they're going through, I'm like, I don't even really like that. That's the thing I thought I wanted. I don't really like that. So when EA Ski posed this question or this topic, I'm like, 100% resonates. That resonates with me. And I just think a lot of people, a lot of us out there, no one likes to hear that the thing that you really want to do is maybe not the thing that you should do. However, I would say, try to indulge in other things that may be related to what you do. You know, within your, this is a comfort zone thing, within your comfort zone a little bit, and see if you might not be better at those things than you are at the current thing that you're pursuing. Because outside of your ego being bruised, you may be opening your family up to more money and more opportunity of life. You may be opening up yourself to more opportunity, more networking abilities. You just may be opening up a whole world of things that you did not know existed for you, which for me was sound design. I just made a lot of sounds because I made a lot of beats and I didn't know how people made sounds. So I made my own sounds in my own ways, which led to me having a unique style. Blah, 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 blah. Paid no thought of it until shout out to these two gentlemen, raised that thing to me to let me know that this is a valuable thing. So don't let it be a bruise to your ego, but maybe another calling in life, or at minimum, an additional stream of income. That's all I'm saying.
That's how a lot of producers even existed, because most producers wanted to be rappers. And then it's just like, for me, example, I wanted to be a rapper. And then I realized this ain't gonna work for me, bro. One, I'm not that great. I don't like the way I sound on the microphone. It's too many variables for me, but I also enjoy making music, and making this beat was fun. So it's like, if I wouldn't have been open, if I was dead set on, you know what I mean, doing that, I could have been one of them rappers y'all making fun of on the internet for some bars. I could have been that guy, bro. You know what I mean? But I was open to trying different stuff, and here we are. You know what I mean? I made something of myself. You know what I mean?
I would hate for you to be the one of those people that you send me the messages on Instagram about.
Oh, bro. It'd be them ones, man. I'd be like, bro, please. I know that sounds crazy, bro. That's why I hate about selling beats to just anybody, because I hate hearing my babies and the people just sounding terrible, dog. That just hurts my soul, bro. I would hate getting tagged. I would go on Twitter, he'd be like, produced by Trizza, and it'd be the worst song. I'd be like, bro, please stop. Take my tag off. Remove it, please.
Yo, no, me and Trizza, we did this. On like August 3rd, we did this. Like that's just the day they bought the whatever.
Yeah.
They just
don't do that.
No, we collab, bro. So here's something I wanted to do, kind of special on the show. Since we're gonna be wrapping up in a minute. And I don't know how many people are interested in this, but I'm a sound guy. I'm a sample guy. As everybody knows, I love to know where the sample things are from and blah, 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 blah. I like to do a brief, just 2 songs off the Certified Lover Boy sample breakdown that I don't think people talk about. So the first song on the album, Champagne Poetry. If you look at the credits on Spotify or wherever you get stuff from, it says produced by 40, whatever, and Masego.
VA, let's go.
Come on. 100%. Come on, man. Listen.
We out here, bro. The Virginia roster of musicians and producers, we're taking on the world, bro.
We always in the building. But now, here's where it gets tricky, and here's where I want to shine some light. If you listen to Champagne Poetry, outside of the gospel part, which I'll probably get to in a minute, the main parts of it, say Masego's a producer because Drake and 40 or whoever sampled the Masego song, which starts with an N. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it. I'm not even going to sit here and butcher it, but you can look it up. They actually sampled that song. But in that song, Masego sampled a song. Almost. Here we go. This is where it gets interesting. He sampled a song that was originally done by the Beatles, which is Michelle. Now, this is where it gets really deep. A few episodes ago, and people have texted me about this, I talked about a song where I first fell in love with hip hop, which was Lottie Dottie. I was at a cookout at my aunt's house. And it came on the radio, and my mother asked me why I wasn't outside with the other kids, and I told her to hold tight. I gave her the finger. Before the finger was a thing, I was like, hold tight. Whatever this is on the radio has my attention. It was Lottie Dottie, and in that song, Slick Rick did a small part from the song Michelle, because he's from London or the UK. He did a small part.
Put the two together.
Yeah, it's like me, Michelle, my bell, whatever. So that Beatles song is the song that Masego sampled for his song. And the song is called Michelle. However, here's where I want to shine the light. I want to shine the light on a group called the Singers Unlimited. The actual version of Michelle that Masego sampled was from the Singers Unlimited. The Singers Unlimited, and this is like, I guess a spoiler or whatever for me, has been one of my favorite groups to sample from for over 20 years. Okay?
Dude, are they the ones that do the Claire? You know what I'm talking about, the Dilla?
That is what, now, once again, where it gets interesting.
It makes sense now. Okay, I heard it when you said
Unlimited did a song called Claire, which Dilla sampled for Player. And the way he cut it up and chopped it up was amazing. Shout out to Dilla, of course, the GOAT.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people have sampled the Singers Unlimited since then. Also been one, like I said, one of my favorite groups to sample from ever. So their version of Michelle is what Masego sampled for his song that starts with the N that I can't pronounce, which is why the Beatles and Masego get credit on the Drake song, but I wanted to, I don't know if the Singers Unlimited get credit on that song, but I wanted to shout out the fact that the Singers Unlimited did that version, because they did a lot of covers as well of Michelle for that song, Champagne Poetry, which I thought was a very interesting sample breakdown for the first song on Certified Lover Boy. It was just great, because when I first heard the song, I was like, I know the Singers Unlimited when I hear it. You can pitch them up, pitch them down.
Yeah, they got a tone.
They have a tone because they're a vocal harmony group. So I'm like, oh, that's the Singers Unlimited. And from Lottie Dottie, I know the lyrics to Michelle. So immediately, without knowing, I'm like, that's the Singers Unlimited singing Michelle. Even though Masego and the Beatles are, and I know, of course, the Beatles made the song Michelle. So I immediately knew that, and I just kind of went behind just to check what I thought was really going on, and that is what was really going on. So that is song number one. I'm not going to do a lot of songs off this album, even though there are like 4 or 5 songs I could do a sample breakdown for. One honorable mention I will say was from the Rick Ross, Lil Wayne, and Drake song.
That beat is incredible.
I think this one is that the one Bink did?
Yeah, that beat is incredible, dog.
Yes. What is I can't remember the name of that song. And they said the sample says the name of the song. I just can't remember it right now. Shout out to Barbados. But the sample says the name of the song, and the name of the group is like
You Only Live Twice?
No, the actual sample, whatever words they're saying is like I can't something. Yeah, you could probably figure it out by the time I get to that. But as you get to that, I'll talk about the third song or the second song, which I really wanted to talk about. 7 a.m. 7 a.m. or 7 p.m. on Birdie Path. I love that song because that's when Drake gets into his bag. He starts rapping, blah, 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 blah. And it has the cheerleaders kind of behind it.
Oh, yeah.
I love those types of samples. Listen, bro, I have a million samples from high schools, colleges, cheerleaders. That was like my sample shit back in like 2007, 8, 9. And that particular sample, I'm not sure of the city or the state, but I just want to point that out because it just took me back to the shit that I used to sample way back in the day.
I think it's North Carolina. I think it
might be. It's from Dudley High School.
Yeah, I think it's because I grew up in Virginia, but it's like on the border of North Carolina, and Dudley's not far. So I think when I heard they did it, I was like, oh yeah, we used to play them in high school, and that's why I think I remember it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's North Carolina.
Yeah, it's from Dudley High School, and the name of the song or the cheer that they were doing is called Gold Squad Get Crunk. And if you watch the video, you'll see it and you'll hear everything like that. But like, I think around the time I met you, actually, like that was my shit.
Oh yeah, you was going crazy with them joints.
I used to live in Roswell, Georgia, and I used to go around to high schools, and I used to go everywhere, and I just used to record high schools all the time. Because prior to moving even to Georgia, I had so many high school samples, and going to college. I was on that shit way back when I went to college. I would have so many college and high school cheer samples that was my shit. Shout out to Brian Kidd too. Brian Kidd used to have a lot of them too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And we used to be like really on the cheer and like marching band samples. And that led me to go through some old hard drives. Fam, I found so many old
I need those.
High school and college samples I made. Yeah, we might have to do something with those.
Yeah, please send that zip. And that sample, the Rick Ross joint is called "Can't Get You Off My Mind." That's the name of the sample by the Brothers of Soul.
But the Brothers of Soul. I didn't want to say chairman of the board because I'm totally different group. But the sample actually says "Can't Get You Off of My Mind," and that is the name of the song. And it is, as Verzuz said, the Brothers of Soul, which I thought just deserved the honorable mention because it was a great flip by Bink. And the reason why it's a great flip, now since we're on it, the thing is, with samples like that, this is just how my mind processes them. I like samples with a lot of chord changes, like quick chord changes, and then there's a sustained chord change.
Right.
So it's like the "Can't Get You Off of" is a real quick, and then the "Mind" part is where it will usually be like 2 to 4 beats of mind, but it's not. It's very fast. It's like "Can't get you off of my mind." Boom, going into something else. So that's why he had to hit the mind word over and over again. Which just analyzing it the first time I heard it, I was like, oh, that must have been a short note. And it was, but the way that he played with that note, it kind of died down, came up, died down, came up. Killed it. He killed it. Shout out to Bink. Also, as you said before, and we both from Virginia. Virginia 100, Virginia stand up. Virginia got some of the best producers, best artists, all of that. Shout out to Bink. He is no exception. Nothing different. Shout out to Bink. But just the way that he killed that was amazing. But like when it comes to sampling and stuff, I love to sample soul, love to sample gospel. I'm a fan of the sample that has like 5 chord changes.
Oh yeah.
In one joint. So it's like bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, like, give you a lot of options.
Yeah, so now your chop game is like crazy. Even though he used it, because they hit it like "Can't Get You Off of Mama." He hit it in order, but he just did that last note over and over and over again. That's my style of beat. So shout out to Bink, man. Yeah, for sure. So that's just my certified lover boy sample breakdown. There are a ton of other samples on there that I could have touched on, but those are the 3 that really stood out to me the most.
I'm gonna do my Kendrick Lamar on next week where he says, "Give me that."
Do it.
Show the TikTok. That's hilarious, bro.
We're not the Waynes.
He's baby Keem.
He's baby. That's a Range Rover.
Top of the morning. Top of the morning. Top of the morning. Top of the morning.
You got me on that album.
Bro, that part is so great, dog. It's so weird where I'm like, bro, it's so dumb that it's great. It's like, yo, why did you put this there, bro? What happened?
Slim, it's so inspired. I'm not gonna lie. So after I do my workout, just don't everybody can testify. After I do my workout, I come out here, and it's usually the same view, and I do like a workout done. I'm about to give thanks type deal. The whole time, if you look, there's a earbud. I'm a Samsung guy, so I don't have AirPods. I have earbuds. There's an earbud in my ear, and I'm still listening to that Baby Keem album. And when I'm out here taking my, I hate to take pictures, but my obligatory selfie workout done, whatever, I'm listening to that specific song, bro. Every morning, bro.
You got to.
Every morning. Shout out to Realistic too. He's the one who's like, yo, you need to take more pictures and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, all right, bet. But I gotta be hyped because I don't like taking pictures. And I'm trying to get more to the taking pictures thing. I know Trizzy, you know why, and we both on that.
Yeah.
But I'm listening to that song. And don't do that, bro. I'm listening to that song in every one of the pictures. Just know.
Oh yeah. Top of the morning. Top of the morning. Top of the morning. All right, man. I know you got I don't want your wife to curse me out, so I'm gonna wrap it up for you. You know what I mean?
My guy. Yeah. Listen, man, shout out to my guy Big Rich, who's been sitting on my house with a shotgun, making sure nothing happens to my house. I gotta have him go into my house to do something, so I gotta walk him through it on the phone. So this is actually the time when I'm supposed to do it. So shout out to you for reminding me.
Yes, sir. You got any plugs?
Man, listen. SoundOracle.net. Me and Trizzy got something coming up really, really big.
Yes, sir.
Really big. So
yes, sir.
If you're not subscribed, pay attention. It's coming up really soon. This weekend I got a special going. If you're already on the email list, you already know what it is. Yes, and last but not least, the art of mastering. If you don't have it now, I did want to raise the topic. I'm not going to talk about it today. I'll talk about it next week, but I'll give you a small joint of what it was about. The difference between some artist choosing your beat and another beat, if the beats are pretty much the same to them, is how hard they hit.
Big facts.
The art of mastering. That's all I'm going to say. I'll talk about it more next week.
That's facts.
The art of mastering. So listen, but what you got going on the producerkit.com?
Oh man, Drill Up still going crazy. The drill sample packs. I've been getting a lot of videos, people going crazy with that. So that's been dope. So about to be sending out some more blogs and showcasing different producers, you know. So if you want to get showcased, you want to get blasted out to thousands of emails, you know what I mean? You know, send me a video, man. Let me see what you make with the sample pack. You know, try to give you some shine. So I'm working on that. Me and Oracle got something dropping very soon. With a few things actually. I'm hyped. I feel like we're very ahead. I'm like, yo, who am I, bro? We're this much ahead. Yeah, I'm excited about that. So that's really, man. Stay tuned, man. We got some really cool stuff dropping.
Man, 100%. Super facts. And by the way, shout out to everybody showing us love at the end of the show.
Yes,
Thank y'all so much for tuning in. And I see some of my new family from the island I'm on. I've been out here talking, and people are like, "Oh, you do a podcast? What's the joint?" And I see a lot of them tuning in right now. I really appreciate y'all. You know, we'll be back. Actually, I'm gonna see like 3 in about 30 because I'm gonna go across the street to the restaurant that you work at. But man, listen, as we say every episode, it's been another episode of UnQuantized podcast, and we will